I remember my first week as a news reporter. Hapa niko ka intern tu. So naambio, hii ni dile doke tumepeo. Manze tukaenda Pan Africa. Kulikuwa na sijui launch of what or nini. Something like that. All I remember is tukimaliza the coverage, maybe like 2 hours, wase wamedishi, majournalists wakichomoka. Unalizwa what media house? Nga, brown envelope. Nga, brown envelope.
Kabla tuendelee, wacha nikuulize, ushaingia kwa linebet.com, baki umeingia chap, tumia promo code MWAF, MWAF, na utastand a chance ya kujishindia kofia, kujishindia hoodies, na kujishindia t-shirts, na apart from that pia unapata bonus. Lakini terms and conditions ni, the first thing lazima ukuwe ni a new participant. Apart from kwa a new participant, baki umedeposit 250 shillings, alafu the last thing unafanya ni kudownload app. Hii app unaweza baki umepata kwa Google Play Store, na pia unaweza ipata kwa App Store. Alafu chap vile nimekuambia, promo code ni MWAF. Alafu unabaki umejishindia bonus. But apart from bonus, bado kuna hoodies, kuna t-shirts, na kuna cups. Na apart from that, kama kawaida, winnings zako zinakuja zikiwa tax free. So nangoja nini? Enda kwa linebet.com. Iko Nini.
Iko Nini.
Episode 348, tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Na leo niko na a friend na pia a boss, niko na Calvo. So Calvo ni best yangu na pia ni mdosi wangu.
Interesting position to be in, but
yeah.
This is a guy who ni mdosi wangu will tell you guys why. I know why I'm saying that.
Yeah, so tumejuana for a long time.
Yep.
And of course, wasengi wanajua Calvo from radio, na pia kuna sio namjua from his space yetu ya podcast. So kuna the Mics Are Open podcast, si ndio?
Yep.
You drop episodes?
So we drop our episodes kila Friday 10 a.m.
Okay.
We also have another episode that goes out in Itango Minisode.
Yes.
So that goes out Tuesday or Monday depending. Yeah, but Friday, each and every single Friday for the last 5 years. So we're now, I think, to go 5 years and like 3 months or something.
Okay, because kitu fani ni, I think Iko Nini podcast exists because of Mics Are Open. Because apparently, I think Zach was telling me it's G nilikuwa namwambia stories are podcast.
Yes.
So that's how. Because I think yours is it the first podcast in Kenya, one of the first?
Well, so my podcast was, I'd say, is easily number one, the first podcast or the second podcast. Because remember back in the day, I used to do a podcast called Nini, Unverified Podcast.
Yeah.
Kitambo.
Yes.
So actually, hiyo ilikuwa maybe 2014, 15 hapo. Alafu, well, sijui ka tunaweza ita podcast. Jack Rooster used to have one.
Yes.
And Capital FM had started to do podcasts. But it was amongst the first at that particular point.
Okay.
So ndio hapo tukaanza Mics Are Open, 5 years and whatever months. But it's been a good journey. It's been very interesting. To see it become from, you know, something that we just do to now that it can actually get bills paid.
Yes,
the same for you as well.
Yeah. And to see like the space just grow, like kuna kina TMI, kuna even like right now we can say kile Ngugi anafanya ni podcast.
It actually is. It actually is a podcast. It's a very interesting space to be in. It's grown, but also I feel like I think when it comes to like content creators, content creation, I feel like there's a separation that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Kuna venye tunaikuwa the same category na influencers.
Okay.
Unaget? Saka wewe, Mwaf, you're a content creator.
Yes.
100%, but you're a podcaster.
Yes.
Then, if you decide to influence for something, that is on the side.
Yes.
But you can't be put, awezi kuwa, ni kama kinegotiate kitu, wawezi sema, uni influencer, wanafaa kuongea nawe ka a content creator who's a podcaster.
Yes.
Have you run into that kind of?
Yeah, najuaga hivyo. Cause even majuzi nimecheka, cause there's a contract niko nimesign ya nini, alafu nikirushiwa contract yenyewe naona imeandikwa influencer.
Exactly.
So even the way the contract is written. So I think maybe it's the language, the fact that you're advertising something and you're not traditional media. They assume you're an influencer. I don't know how to.
Okay, I can see that, but I feel like influencers very skewed towards creation of content specifically towards a particular brand, right? But for you as a content creator, your primary thing is you're creating content, but now for you as a podcaster, you are podcasting.
Yes.
Hiyo ndio primary. So kama mse mwingine anataka kuweka kitu hapo, yeye amejiweka.
Okay.
So I think that needs to be
Alafu your space unaelewaje space ya in influencers, because I feel like at some point ni kama ili peak saizi na feel kama inaanza kwenda chini. Do they make them like they used to? Because nakumbuka ile time yakina ni Maxine Wambosha. Nacheki. Like I feel like nika saizi imekamika. I don't think ime plateau.
I think unaweza sema ime plateau juu ya economy. Like right now, I can tell you a lot of brands are holding on to their money. They've not been spending as they were spending last year. I can tell you.
Yes.
Unaget? So those effects of the economy are definitely creeping into it. But companies are spending a lot.
Okay.
Like I'll use an example. Traditional media. What radios used to be. Atukienda to a radio station that used to sorry.
Yeah, I understand.
They used to get a lot of advertising.
Yeah.
It's not the same now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nakumbuka hiyo time. Like ile time za tuko tunajua akila Kabiro FM. Unajua like kuna time ilikuwa inafika unasikia ads mingi back to back.
It's not the same anymore. So so for me, I've done influencing for Tusker.
Okay.
Tusker Draft. And I remember when we're doing DMC. So DMC is the Diageo marketing code.
Yeah.
Before you influence, you're told these are the rules, this is the time, you shouldn't post this, nini, all of those, which is very important, right? Because, I mean, it's alcohol. You have to definitely know how to play around with it when you're influencing, creating the content. And I remember at some point looking at the number of people who are on that Zoom call, and I was like, wait.
Okay. Kwani?
Boss, ilikuwa watu karibu 3. So unaweza imagine, KC iko na watu wangapi? Tusker iko na watu wangapi? Smirnoff iko na watu wangapi? So think about it. And all of these people have been given, say, they've got different contracts. 3 months, 6 months, a year, all of those. Akina Nyash wako on. Johnny Walker. So all of those guys. So if you calculate how much money those guys
are spending on
that. And I can tell you when maybe let's say 5-6 years ago, 2018, 2017, nakumbuka drive time nikiwa Homeboys Radio. Manze unasikia this hour has been bought by Guinness. Next hour has been bought by, what do you call it? What is a brand like Tusker.
Yes.
All of that. Alafu, all of those, hiyo ni block. So one company has said, wacha tuchukue hiyo. 7 o'clock, Corinne, unasikia kampuni ingine imekam, like now a competitor.
Yes.
Seme, Jamison. Bap. Guys used to spend. Digital has taken it over. What's on a dish, bana? Like me, I know enough people who have careers, who've stepped aside from careers to take this digital
marketing thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because it makes sense. Because even I think last year when did you call Skazy figures za Oktoberfest? Like I was hearing like the figures that artists were paid, and I was there thinking like, damn, things have changed. Because digital, I think, also gave artists something extra. Because kitambo ilikuwa as an artist, you just show up, so you perform. But saizi as an artist, if I'm Nyashinsky, yes, I'm coming for your show, lakini pia na seti poster, and this poster is going out to millions of followers. So I think with that, maybe ndio na feel nika dope imeenda juu. Because unachiki doa ma artist
imeenda juu. But I think, and at a point we'll get into like music from the 254. But artists right now, it's never been a good time to be a musician like right now. Usha interview Calligraph?
Yeah.
Manze tulikuwa tunachapiana na Kali, and Kali was telling me how he's built his house.
Yes.
And how much it cost him, the plots and everything, off of everything that he has done. So you can imagine when he was starting, and of course I think you interviewed him when you were starting. Zile days pale palikuwa naitwaje? British Council.
Wapi. Yes.
So you've seen this guy.
I've seen the growth. You
see?
Yes.
So nakumbuka ile time manzee wasanii hata ulikuwa unaambia kama tutakupatia platform. Siku hizi ndani msanii mgani anamkawati unampatia platform? Hakuna.
Ni TikTok.
Si anajidropia ngoma na inaenda. So it's changed kabisa. Hey, but you know what? I also like the way companies now are paying the concerts. Nini kila weekend manze unaona Kali yako huku. Juzi nilikuwa 2 weeks ago nilikuwa I was with Charisma. He was dropping his album. So nikapatana na Butros hapo. Akaniambia nenda Bungoma hii weekend show. Yani unajua mimi nikasikia Bungoma, I'm like bro, that's deep. Like I love it. Guys are going Bungoma, guys are going Busia. Place watu endagi ni Nyeri tu.
Kwani?
I don't know. Nyeri is
Dili Bungoma nani jua kwa ikipatia ile story yake? Ile there's a day they went to perform in Bungoma. Funny enough, it's like a party.
It's a proper place.
Yeah, it's like a party town. So akina jua shenda perform, and then that day he was convinced to go on stage before being paid. Ajele promoter iko like hapata nakulipa. Yeye samagajo alikuwa pale ameperform after amalize.
Anatafuta promoter yuko.
Yeah, hivyo tu. Mpaka ikabidi arudi. Like arudi Nairobi without being paid. So Bungoma is like a party town. Yeah, afu try kuimagine your trip. Alikuwa anasema jo alikuwa kwa buu. Unarudi Nairobi your long trip jo. You worked for free.
I'd be pissed. Me lakini Bungoma is a town, not a promoter. But you know, speaking of that, we had Butros on our podcast, and I think one of the questions I asked him is around this kama kuna mapromoter na hepa na chapa. Akaniambia ni hard sana. I mean, there's still those characters, yes. Especially if you're like a younger musician au jafika pale, but for him, place ako.
Yeah, ishafika hiyo nini. Because pia I think saizi kuchomea mtu ni rahisi kushinda kitambo. So kome hepanado yangu umehepanado ya Butros, now inviting another artist becomes hard because utakumbuka niaje au kitaga then unaweza haribu busy yako yote.
But I mean, brands are supporting artists. Manzeka, there's some information I have. I can't really say it, but I was told and I was like, what? It's something that's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. Inshallah, it's going to be a big announcement with a big musician, and it's not going to be a deal that's just going to be Kenya. It's going to be like a continental level, and it's a alcohol brand, and it's massive.
Okay. Because hata nini, hii alcohol ni interesting because next week Octo ana launch album yake, and I'd want to know vile history na happen because nicheki the Hennessy Cypher mpya iko na Kali. And I think Octo bado iko
on Henny.
So it's quite interesting to see
how they are.
Because it's the business.
It's a business, man.
Look at the money.
No, I mean it's and you see the craft is a cipher. And I don't think there's a bigger cipher than the Hennessy cipher. On the continent right now.
So far kuna.
Man, Octo, man, and a drop album. I'm very excited about it. Lamu Nights, I am the only person who interviewed him. I'm only one interview.
Because Octo is rare.
He's a rare. And actually, funny enough, even for Calligraph, Testimony 1990. I'm the only one who interviewed him as well. So, but I have very interesting relationships with both of them. So Octo, I know him through Chicks. Shinakumbuka Chicks? Manager wake yule Chicks Zone. Alikuwa chapa graffiti. So, sini wale ni wasiwa namba 8. So my cousin Mwangi used to live in karibu na Jamu, Fort Jesus. So akina Octo tulikuwa wachekigi akienda kwa Chicks akibeba CDs. So this is back when days of Wapi and all of that. So that's how we know each other. So then Kali, of course, when he used to come on Hip Hop Culture to Kiobaricho Road Homeboys. So yeah, man, I love to see how both of them have grown. Like me hata Octo mumuliza unakuaga huko ama unaishigi
unaishima tu. Kuzata nakunga ile line ya Akaboy kanaitwa na Stupid Boy. Ile look like it was like a diss to Kali and still a big up to Octo. So joga ile line ati wanasema Kali ndio the biggest rapper na Octo iko around in New York, something like that.
Something like that. Okay, I can see that.
He says that. Although now I never understand when like new rappers nowadays, I think maybe because niko much older and this worked for 50 Cent, but still understand new rappers dissing the
OGs.
The OGs.
That makes sense
to me.
But you see, it's like that's a good example, right? Like I think Mac Miller's just done an interview. Not Mac Miller, the Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly's just done an interview right now. And you remember Machine Gun Kelly tried to go at Eminem.
Aiko Eminem delimu kujia?
No, Eminem anaendea Machine Gun Kelly. Unaget? So like, why? Boss, Eminem set did what he did for you to be there.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. So it's at times it makes sense. Like if you're really trying to kauna try kujulikana, but it's not sustainable. Alafu pia unaweza si actually wapigia story hapa venye walienda kwa keja ya mse.
Yeah, it can get,
those kind of
things real. Uliona, like there's this footage of his that was going around that he was drunk. Ulionaga? You're a stupid boy. He'd gone to a club, alafu he was stopped at the door. So wakamwambia ndio uingie lazima ulipe. Acheki, because I think they didn't know him. So kaambia ndalipaje na mini celeb, ama kitu kama yama mini superstar. I have like millions of views on YouTube. And which I understood. Like maybe if you're running a club you should know Stupid Boy. But what I found to be sad was like the level of like ulalikuwa like he was so drunk. Ile mpaka nikaa hajui. Alafu considering his age, unajua like that's now a lifelong battle. Unajua ule ukianza kudrink
at that age, in that manner. You know, it's interesting that you say that. So, you know, for some of them, fame is something that has just hit instant.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. So, having worked on radio for as long as I have, and interacted with so many labels and all of that, so I interact with the guys of Marvin Records in Nigeria. So like a couple of weeks ago when Rema was dropping the album, I was helping it. All of the DJs, like even on my Instagram, I was like, DJs, if you want the 3-piece, you want the whole album, I've got it, I'll send it to you. When I was interviewing Rema 2 years ago, I asked him a question about the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, because they were going to elections. And the way he navigated
away from
that, I could tell he's gone for that media training that they do.
Oh, okay.
You get? So they like and even guys over here, I know Soul Generation do it for their artists. You're told this is how to carry yourself, this is how to relate. Because unajua kuna scenario kayo, sasa Stupid Boy amesema hivyo juu ya Kali na Octo.
Yes.
Bro, ase wanaweza kupatia collab fiti deadly. Unaelewa? So you have to know how to carry yourself. Alafu unajua sasa Stupid Boy, maybe kuna wase wako kwa hiyo club wanaingia wanamcheki. Perceptions, unajua venye wadhi hapa na perception. They'll probably be like, huu ni mlevi.
Yeah, alafu
nini. So those things are very important. You got to know how to navigate. First and foremost, when you're doing your interviews. And I think this is something I've realized with a lot of this new age rappers, musicians. Unakumbuka venye wewe ukifanya radio, and even right now as you do radio, there's guys who come for the interview and they milk it kabisa. Wanajua why they're here. I find some of them are just too I'm here.
I'm here. Alafu another thing ile na kama majuzi nilikuwa na bonga kwa the podcast the live. Kuna bonga jia also like cleanliness. Kuna ma artists tunakamigi like you look at his level of fame and then anakuja kwa studio and you want to break a window like mseni chafu. Shall see you happen. Niko shame ko happen.
Many happen.
Go there wondering like Buddha Joe, you're already famous bana, like
you have to. Manzi unajua hii kitu ya usanii lazima unajua natoka kwa keja, this is what I'm going to do. Nijibebe hivi, who's my... That's why having a manager is important. Na manager wako si lazima kuwe beste yako. Unaelewa? Unaweza tafuta mse professionally umwambie by the way, kila mwezi na kulipaga hivi. Si mimi niko na gigs nini, when nipange fanya hivi what. If who needs to reach me, do this. Biashara, go for my meetings, all of that. But also, before you even get to a manager, so that you're acting professional, if you're a musician who's young on the come up, imagine you can create, like say Muaf, back when you were rapping and all of that. You create an email, so decide umetengeneza website muafrika.co.ke. Una create an alter ego, for lack of a better word. Let's call it Rodney at muafrika.co.ke. Who's Rodney? You. But people know
as your manager.
Na niona reply gi, do you know people tend to take you more seriously?
If they're not dealing with you directly.
That perception, they're like, oh, this person is more... Alafu unatokea meeting unakuuliza Rodney uko wapi, naambia yako nini, dealing with some other things.
Meeting another client.
So watu wanaanza kukubeba. So those things, they matter. But this is game that I guess also after we've been in the industry as long as we have, we're able to understand. But ask questions, learn. We live in a beautiful age, man. There's so much information.
Yeah, because talking of information, there's this very interesting interview that I watched. I think ilikuwa kwa podcast. Unajua msanii Theo Von?
No, tell me about it.
Theo Von is some white guy in the US. He's like a goofy podcaster. So he asks these very weird questions, but he's also super funny. I love you invite everyone from scientists to politicians. So majuzi alikuwa na Donald Trump and they were talking about now alcoholism.
Oh, is this the one, the cocaine video?
Yes.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
I watched it today morning. Yeah.
So nakunga wakibonga na Trump akibonga why he avoided alcohol. And I remember that was so similar to Mimi. Sasa nikiangalia mtu kama Stupid Boy, I would not be surprised to find that in his family there are people who've struggled with alcoholism. So Trump alikuwa anapatia na story vile like his big bro used to drink so much and look at him. Pakati kuna time bro yake alimwambia like I wish I was you because I struggled with this thing and unacheki it. So I feel like hizi pia ni zile lessons, like it's interesting to hear someone like Trump be like I didn't drink because niliona mse mwingine like family because your connection pia wasema imekigi.
Yeah.
Your connection ya addiction na I don't know if it's genes or genetics or
it is there. Me, trust me, man. I've seen it 100%, like right in front of me. And you see that ukiangalia from your grandparents to your uncle to now your cousins, you can see it. And if you're older, now your kids and all of that. So it's one of those things that's there. Sorry, but
Isa.
But what's interesting is umenotice how mayangi si wengi wanakunywa.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Bro, as in, you've not seen how, what would we call them? Leisure drugs or what? Zimekuwa prominent.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Kanairo Buddha.
Because Sunday kitusikuagi na my ears on the ground on that. But is it addictive? Because addictive is a worse.
I don't know about, well, I wouldn't really get into the addictive Nini, but I have never because me, I go out, I'll have a drink, I'll party. I go out to see the culture and understand.
Yeah.
But lately, I don't do it much.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how loosely you hear people say or even offer, hey, you want a line? You want to go for a line? Mpaka unashindwa. Hey!
Damn. Okay.
Buddha. Manzi mimi nakumbuka si tulikuwa tunaendaga wapi? This is now, there's a bend over Thursday, iyo area, ama tamasha, ama mwendas. Na mwendas tulikuwa tunaenda kukunywa kitu tulikuwa inaitwa Flame. No, madem ndio tulikuwa tunabaya Flame in Lamborghini. Si tulikuwa tunataka kwenda Sherlock's Den. Nakumbuka pale Lifestyle. Walikuwa na Thursday walikuwa na offer 3 beers for 300.
Oh, okay.
Unaget? Yeah. But nowadays, man, and you hear that grammage, I don't know what's the quantity, but you hear like that, well, that amount is like 7,000 bob.
Oh.
So you can imagine, at that age, I imagine you don't have that kind of money, how are you able to sustain it? But these guys, these whatever, these youngins have a lot more money than we ever did.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean...
Yeah, najua. Wanatapa. Your story, like one of the things nimesikia ni, a lot of them are also figuring out mapema that you can earn money doing what you love.
Exactly.
Sisi unajua, tukua tunajua gala, lazima tupitie ile the...
Kole, unpaid internship.
Yes. Alafu sikuzi pia hiyo Instagram inawasaidia kina TikTok. Ile fame. Then after fame inakuwa ni kuinfluence vitu. 1, 2, 3. So wako na hiyo.
Yeah, man. So it's crazy. And also well, because I deal with a lot of people in marketing and because I've worked in advertising. Jabba Juice is one of the things that some of these brands will look at and they're like, okay, even if this is, they'll put it in the back of their minds. They're like, there's been a small reduction, which of course over volume is quite something. But Jabba Juice has really gotten into the market. A lot of people look at it as an alternative way to...
Yeah, because naijua, because hapa nisha interact, like one of the best shows nisha hapa, sitasema ni artist mgani, it was a comedian. alikuwa mtu, we had to delay the show for like 1 hour ndio Jabba Juice yake ifike. But the show that he gave us was worth it. It was really good.
Proper.
Yeah, ilikuwa poa sana. Alafu I think the other time ni pia there's a certain DJ wagana Jabba Juice line. Unajua? DJ anaitwa nani? Hata jina sasa imenipotelea. Haswa ni wanitaka boom bap click or something.
So I don't know. There's I've heard of it, right?
A bunch of DJs, they have like a line of Jabba Juice. So Jabba Juice is becoming big.
Hey, Jabba Juice is huge, man. So but the caveat is Kebs has not given it a classification. Once Kebs gives it a proper classification, because you know what is it? It's a stimulant, right?
Yeah.
And it's in a very tricky category that is in some other drugs as well, right?
Yeah.
So once it's given that mark of Bureau of Standard, that's it. You'll be able to see brands like now, you know, industry leaders take it up and package it.
Oh, okay. And still tukibonga hizi stories a classification. So now if something is not classified, if I'm caught with it, is it illegal? Like your Jabba Juice, is it illegal in itself? Like if I'm moving 300 liters of it?
No, it's not. So here's the thing, because all you've done is it's like you can argue and say, so unaona gazile mapiko za mira zikikam. So what you've done is you've squeezed them and you've taken the juice off na umeweka kwa mitungi zako.
Yes.
Unaelewa? Yeah. So but here's the thing. Unajua kuna places fulani Jabba is illegal. I think was it Somalia, Sibado Iko, but there's countries around us that have banned it, right? Because of that classification story. But over here, you know, Jabba na politics, bwana. Hawezi ambia watu wa Meru ati they're not good. So ulicheki juzi with the story in the coast, when guys were even tulikuwa karibu tuende ile story ya state ilikuwa inaitwaje? Prohibition.
Yes.
Manzio sio wameka Jabba kwa mtungi.
Historia kosi iliendaje kusiku ifuatilia after
I think it was politics, right? They flexed. All I remember is the governor of Mombasa saying, Merayo hawezi kuwa inakuja huku sijui nini. Following day, his radio station was raided. Ni kunoma bana.
Yes, because it's also a multi. It's what do you call it? Foreign. What we used to call it in school. Ile money coming from abroad. It's not a remittance, right? It's ni kama majani chai. You know, we export tea and we're able to make money. It's a cash crop that, you know the term that foreign
I'm talking
about.
It's
not foreign exchange?
Foreign exchange.
I think it was that.
It was that?
Yeah.
No. Foreign exchange from venye tumeiona. Unajua foreign... well, loosely, you guys can correct us, but you get what I mean. Inatutengenezea chapa.
Yeah, inatengenezaga do ingine mzuri sana.
Ni aje, huu ni Rapcha Scientist hapa hivi live and director. Kabla show iendelee, remember Rowan and Cut 3, Rapcha the Scientist, Rowan and Cut 3, sai iko live pale hivi IKONINI.LIVE, ingia pale ni only 500 shillings.
But still kuna a certain concert that's going to happen, and nachiki best yangu Rapcha may take personal sana. So apparently is it the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is organizing like a concert in aid of Haiti. Sindio? Ama Haiti. Alafu one of the artists that's been picked ni Kali. So nachiki unajua Rapcha waga like very anti-government. So like saizi
consistency is key.
Saizi hata ananiput in a funny situation because you respect the OGs. I'm like, this is my dude. Unajua now like sisi ni kile like mina Rapcha kwa wase wengi wakituonaga they always see us as a
clique.
Yeah. So jo akiattack nani and I feel like this dude feels the same.
Yeah.
Ushekwa going
certain.
Hey, like,
don't
do this.
This is not my beef.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So la patrona ichukwaje like should artists right now just avoid the government kabisa? Because also wamejam na serikali.
I mean, it's what you call a tricky situation. So like let me take the long route to probably make it understand because I don't have the perfect answer. So 10th of October is coming up. Now we have Mashujaa Day, right? Mashujaa Day is coming up and we have Ilaya 12th December, Jamhuri Day.
Yeah.
So you know the Presidential Music Commission always gets musicians to perform at those things.
Yeah.
And you know they paid like 3 soko or something. Unaget?
Yeah, ni pesa mzuri.
Hiyo ni pesa mzuri.
Yeah.
Unaelewa? Now maybe you're coming through a place where, I mean, the economy right now is struggling.
Yeah.
You get? So for me, I think just like when people argue about this whole conversation of let's cancel this musician, but their music was really good.
Yeah.
I think we can take the same approach. Because you see at the end of the day, the government, we have all of these corruption scandals and everything.
Yeah.
Okay? But for me, I don't represent corruption like that. But I have gone, I have sung, I have entertained people.
Yes.
I feel like I should be paid. So I feel it's one of those situations where let's just separate it. Because igava, ukikosa kuchukua, there'll be another msanii atakam, na atachukua, na ataendelea.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those things by next week. Leonie, we're shooting this on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
By Sunday, Arsenali ikishachapa watu watakosha usahau. Unaniget?
Yeah,
na uendelee. So that's how I'd look at it.
Yeah, because hata nini ikikam to one of the people who really smack this government or have smacked this government through their lyrics, I think Kali would be one of them.
Yeah.
Because hata nakumbuka kuna kogani kwa minimal pressure. Yosemaga wejiseti because who would have guessed mngerambwa na economy ya bottom up. You see? Alafu pia kwa hii ilikuwa gani ile chocha. When he was talking about ati mlisema hamtaki uhuru. You remember? Like,
yeah, I remember.
So I feel like it's unfair and that's why nakwambia.
Steven Yash did.
Yeah.
Ile hii nini tasanya vibeti za wa mother.
Yeah. So it becomes, that's why like nashindwa, but ushaikuwa na mse yuko so anti-gawa yani. So like Rapcha yuko your level. Like it's interesting that we are friends. Because I'm anti-government, but
to a degree.
Yes. Like I've criticized it like from day one. But Rapcha ni like it just sleeps, like attack him to us.
Atamka nasema, hey!
Yes,
it's one of those.
Yes.
So you can have an approach of I going out to Rapcha by the my guy, man.
Yeah.
So I feel and I see where he's coming from. But boss, see the bills have to be paid.
Yeah.
It's a tricky situation. It's the ethics of it and all of that. But if the people, I wouldn't really look at it as and correct me and tell me if you understand. I really wouldn't look at it as Gava directly.
Okay.
There'll be people at that concert. Sindio?
Yeah.
Probability is people are coming to that concert because I am performing.
Yes.
So guys have shown up.
Yeah.
Unaelewa? So mi nimeenda kuentertain watu wangu, mafans wangu. If I could have done a concert myself to entertain my guys.
Yes.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
But now I've been paid
to come and entertain.
But I'm curious about that. So what's the whole essence of the concert? Are the proceeds going towards...
It's called Africans for Haiti. And
has it been held here?
A unity initiative. Yes. Ina happen hapa Kenya. I don't know kama Kali mwenyewe ameipost and this is zile saa vile nakwambia like mpaka na feel next time utapata na Kali kutakuwa na tension because itakuwa like nikaa
your
boy is attacking me. Na sasa hiyo mimi sijui, unajua we are very kitu moja mufanyaga na mabesti zangu, nataka tukuage super independent of each other.
Yeah.
Like even the way we approach life.
Wewe
hivi, mimi ni hivi. So vitu zinafanya Rapcha lose pressure are not the same things that are going to
of course
affect. But ye mwenyewe ajaipost. I think it was posted by the Ministry of
but what's your take
Foreign
on it?
Affairs.
What's your take on it though?
I take the money, najua, because this money is still going to be spent somewhere. So personally, I'd take the money. If Rapcha was approached, I'd convince him to take the money. Najua, because asa nafikiriaga like unimse tumejuana for how many years? Like
yes,
close to 20.
Yeah.
And we've been super tight friends. I'll just sit him down and tell him like, Buddha,
this is guap.
Your 3 sons and your daughter don't care that you hate the government. They need food on the table.
Yeah.
Acheki. Just take nile inakongani kula kwa kura kwa. Acheki. So nakula but kura nini? Because even for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, sukuri washaisikia gata hii vile kwa tunabonga juu ya Chocha. Kwa Chocha ndiye alisema, if I was to quote him, ilikuwa mlibanja sana hamtaki uhuru. Saa imebamba sana wapi nduru. Hatuendi maandamano. Baba in maintain kanyo. Unacheki? Ati Mr. President ongeza mwaka 5. See, this is him telling you like you fucked up. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs hawajui this dude said this. Because I think wanakuaga so wanaangalia tu artist.
Very nonchalant.
Yes. So I think like for what ile Rapcha na do.
But also, come on, that's gangster. Yeah. For me to say all of that about the government, na bado mnakuja kunipatia munde. Come on.
Now he needs to perform minimal pressure na Chocha.
Kwanza hapo nazitandika kuzitandika zote hapo.
Yeah. Because hapo nimecheki kuna sawa amesema tunakuja concert and you tuseme Ruto must go. So is it also right for the government to organize such concerts?
I don't think so.
Sindio?
It's really not. Because you see, the government right now is not... Kwanza kasa hizi, uchali wetu wanaitwaje, hebu nikumbushe jina yetu, uona kula lap na nini? Umse na inspect projects. Morara, yes,
Morara,
that's the name.
Kibaso.
Morara.
Yes.
You need to get him.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him. I'm trying.
So
yes.
Morara, with everything that he's doing, kwanza kuna project moja ilinibamba. Alienda same day, imelaunchiwa. Manze hiyo plaque ishacholewa.
Nilicheki vitu kama hizo. Nikawa na leta.
I was like, what?
In the age of digital, in the digital age, you can't do that.
You really can't. So that makes me really realize, not realize, it's been said for a while.
Yeah.
But igava manze, sijui nani wagaona advice. And let's not even talk about presidency and the executive.
Yeah.
Up and down, awase kwa ma ministry pia. Nika kuna sijui ni madanda ama nini. Because there's some things you do, mpaka unajuliza.
Yeah.
You get? Like foreign affairs, come on now.
Yeah.
Do we really need a concert like that?
For Haiti.
Si afadhali, and organizing a concert is a lot of money. How about you guys say that money that we've used, how about we give it to paying the fees of all the children of the cops who are in Haiti? Yeah. Like, let's give it direct. Unaelewa? Au makops wako na medical insurance inakaje?
Niko sure ni ya kipumbavu. Sababu hata wakikuwa injured ni hivyo. Like story yao kuisha.
Unaelewa? Like let's put it into a kitty that takes care of that. Lakini pia usi unajua tulikuwa tunapewa chapa ndio wase waende Haiti. So maybe anataka tu, maybe one of the conditions was PR. Let's do a concert.
Yes, because nashinda kwa na hizi ideas. Because I also feel like it's going to get ugly. Like right now, because wasa wataenda hapo ni ma-Gen-Zs, and Gen-Zs are not happy with this government.
They really are not.
Yeah, so itaenda hapo now you're embarrassing the president. Because you also don't want a government-organized concert to end up being an anti-government.
100%.
Because hii sani kwa mpatia wase. This is a very good opportunity to protest. Because sasa it's legal. It's legal na mmeletwa hapo. Na sasa polisi wezi wachapa.
Wezi washu.
Yeah.
Tuko hapa. Kwanza unaambia unachapaje wadhi na bash ni yenyu.
Yeah.
Si wadhi yenyu ndio wako Haiti. But let me tell you, do you think about this country at times and you're just like, manze tulipigwa, nika ushai ukiwa kwa ndaye unateremka, nika, the car has brakes.
Yes.
Lakini nika imekatika tu, you're just like...
Yeah, tuende tu. Wherever stops us at some point.
It's like right now I'm being told, I saw someone tweet and say, today, it was a thing about, there's no money for fees for uni, but there's money, was it 14-something billion for printing of the new...
printing new money.
Yeah.
So we even talked about it. Tuko tunabonga tunaulizana like, why do we need to print new money? Considering that watu wana pesa. So me was saying it's more of an ego thing, because the PS Kipto needs to sign. Wana need kujiona hapo na kama uthuge. They need to see themselves on the new notes. Otherwise, right now, when's the last time we may handle cash, like a lot of cash?
Rarely.
We keep it digital. So do we really need to spend 14 billion right now?
Yeah. Honestly, at times I just get frustrated thinking about this. Because you see, some of these guys who are the PS, the central bank guys, they're not daft guys.
Yeah.
These are guys who've gone to school and studied economy, money. Yani, you hear them talking about the exchequer, this and that and what. And myself and you, we're not economists to that level.
Yeah.
but you have ideas, I feel that unaelewa.
Yeah.
Or what is usually the missing thing? What's the missing link?
I think with Kenya ukisikia kitu yote, ukisikia we are printing money with 14.2 billion, you might find 7 billion is going into individual pockets. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's hiyo ndio shida, because I feel like right now tukiambia mastude we don't have money for them to go to school, there's no way we should spend 14 billion to print new money just to have, because the only thing inaenda kuchange ni signature.
Yeah.
Like that's an ego thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. But here's the thing, So, and back to the point.
Yeah.
You've just had demonstrations. People are saying, we hate how you're spending.
Yeah.
Number 2, accountability. Number 3, this whole thing to do with jobless youth. Unaelewa? So you have those things, zimefuatana. Then on top of that, there's people who are coming out of high school who want to get into these universities and they have grades. Na nyinyi mmekuwa mkiambia watu so many.
Yeah.
Na they need aid because the economy and people don't have money. Unaelewa? Man, it's sad.
Alafu tunachikige the worst thing about Kenya ni hatukuage pia honest on an individual level. Because what has happened is, ulicheki, the president invited my head of like university organizations. Ulicheki? Watu wa Sonu, hizo Mikusa, whatever. And you know what's going to happen? Most probably they're going to accept the new terms. Because wakienda pale, unakuangalia time kulikuwa na pastor ameingia State House alafu akitoka watu wanaona brown envelope. I won't be surprised the same thing will happen.
But here's my problem with inviting those guys. You know, all of those like Sonu guys are wannabe politicians.
Yeah.
Them they'll say yes. Yeah. Because naangalia, okay, cool. Direct nomination 2027. Those kind of things. All of those, see, when you even look at, come on, man. I can invite what Sonu. You guys are forgetting Ruto's University of Nairobi guy. Babu, Orengo, who, all of these guys, they know the system. Even Gachagua.
Yeah, so they're going to, I think kitu wanaenda kufanya hapo ni kubraibasi, alafu, and hiyo pia nakamigi back to sisi wenyewe. We have to be reasonable, Because even if the president muende huko mtoke na hizo brown envelopes, you should still be like, no. Chukua do. But endo useme no, nilitry, wakakata.
Bro, it's easier said than done. I remember, so when I was starting off in this whole radio business and everything, I used to be a news reporter. So nikiwa shule manze tumesoma kitu inaitwa ethics. You know, media ethics. I used to have one of the best lecturers ever. I've never forgotten that guy. He was called Bosire. Bosire he'd been a seasoned writer. He used to write for the people, the nation and everything. Like if there's a guy who influenced my love for media, that guy. Journalism, 100%. I remember my first week as a news reporter. Hapa niko ka intern tu. So naambio, hii ni dile doke tumepeo. Manze tukaenda Pan-Africa. Kulikuwa na sijui launch of what or nini, something like that. All I remember is tukimaliza the coverage, maybe like 2 hours, wase wamedishi, majournalists wakichomoka. Unalizwa what media house? Nga, brown envelope. Nga, brown envelope. Nga, tukamaliza. Same day, tukenda press conference. For a political party.
Yes.
Hey, you guys have recorded nini. Mkimaliza. Hey, wasiona goja hapo bana. Wanajua lazima wasundwe. Kitu. Let me tell you, I went back to the station. I was so heartbroken. Unajua saizo mimi niko fresh. Nimesoma kitu, ethics. Tuliko tunaambia brown envelope journalism is real. Sasa nimeingia kwa field na icheki sasa. I was so demoralized. But I'll say this without mentioning names. I've seen some pretty serious journalists that day.
Wakichukua do. Okay. Because nani pia alitupatia like a similar story. And
John.
It made us realize, that Kenyan politicians, like they just assume you want money. So vile John alikuwa anasema walishia na Mohamed Ali. Washa do this like interview. And then wakishamaliza, the politician akaingia tu kwa drawer akatoa
Kambia
Kibunda. Now, if you're dealing with John and Nani,
it's a lot of money. It has to be.
So unajua they could not disrespect him, so they took it alafu wakaita assistant wake wakaenda naye kwa lift atu wakamsomea alafu wakamrudishia hiyo do. So alikuwa anasema ilikuwa around 200 Gs. Wewe unafikiri assistant alirudisha?
Alisunda. Of course.
Because me I'd be happy. I'd be looking for how.
Unaangalia wadhi.
Yeah. Sasa kuna tafuta nyinyi watu mko principal. Huwa atakasirika.
Unaingia nao kwa lift. Do you really need that money? Are you feeling bad about this?
Yeah.
Inaweza kuwa noma.
Yeah, nikinini ile time niko na Donald like so nishapati wanawapatia niko zile za so hii ni mambo ni wacheka kitu like no that's wrong.
Yeah, but that is why ukionaga like a politician akita nini inaitwaje press conference.
Yeah.
Ndio unaonaga watu wameshona hivi. Because obviously they know na chomoke, and also you see everybody's struggling to some extent.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Let's not even argue from an ethics point. Some guys are just doing it because you have to get by. Unaelewa, India maybe inaongeza kwa rent, kwa dishi, watoi, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. So guys probably they have a good heart and they're covering this and everything, but they just need that money.
Yeah.
So imagine Kasa is not to knock on anybody, but you've seen the situation with Standard Group.
Yeah. Hata ndio that's the first thing you come to mind. Unaweza kufikiria niko Standard Group janil performance inaweza I'll be like
na docket zangu zote.
Watu wanashindwa why does he never quits.
But wacha nikwambie from those days ukiwa journalist na you have to go look for the news. So this is years ago, right? Manze ulikuwa unaingia hivi kwa ofisi 8 o'clock. Kuna breakfast meeting. Mimi wacha nikwambie hakuna hotel Nairobi sijai kula breakfast.
Yes. So unafika hapo mapema.
Breakfast meeting leo Pan-Afric, kesho Hilton. Mpaka unajuanaga nao wasewa nini. Hi, umerudi una dish lunch time, maybe 10 o'clock kuna ya gava pahali, afternoon evening kuna launch ya kitu drinks. Those guys live a good life. I did that for maybe 6 months. I was like
na hii ni because of course wamekuwa kwa hiyo kwa the space itself tukwa mentioned before, but traditional media where do you see this going? Because when we hear Standard Media Group, achiki kuna the media groups we look up to, so tunajuaga of course we all look at Nation Media na Standard as the first two.
I mean we grew up reading.
KBC of course tuirusha nje junior gava, si ndio? So tukishaeka hapo alafu tupija tu Radio Africa so ukisikia Standard Media Group in a struggle kulipa salaries, what does that say about media right now?
I mean adapting is what we failed to do. It's inevitable. Everything that's happening, if you were smart enough, like let me use an example. I visited BBC last year. BBC is run by the government. So there's no advertising. So the taxpayer, BBC is given billions every year. And off of that, BBC tenders to people to produce.
Okay.
So wewe unaweza ambia mimi nitakuwa nafanya Ikonini, the pod that goes on the app BBC Sounds, and you're being paid. And it's very well articulated. The youth, women, Nini, even the disabled or people with, what's the term? The correct term?
With disabilities.
People with power. Something like that. So it's so well done. Manzika there's a podcast I listen to on BBC where this guy talks about his relationship with music. Like he personifies music. Anaongea juu ya reggae. Anaanza kusema the first time I listened to reggae, as in you listen to it, you're just like, good Lord, this is such good work.
Yes.
Unaelewa? So they've gone to a point where at BBC One Extra is a radio station. It doesn't have an FM frequency. Unaelewa? It's totally digital. And it's for the youth and it's for the black culture to celebrate that. And they've got like BBC One, BBC What, Nini, so many different ones representing so many different things. But they've invested in it correctly. And you have people who understand culture, entertainment, and are able to run these media houses. But now, no disrespect to anyone, you have a company as big as Nation Media. Nation Media should have, there's no way we should be hearing Nation Media is laying off people like this, like that. If Nation Nation in terms of going digital should have happened way before. Unakumbuka tukiambiwa when we're switching off ndio zile set-top boxes uswe. Remember how they were against it?
They fought it.
Why were you against that? You get that whole digital spectrum thing. They should have been the leaders telling the government, hey, let's do this. Like right now, running a radio station, let's use like Citizen and what have you, and Classic and all of that.
Yes.
Do you know how expensive it is to run transmission for that?
Expensive, kapsa.
To have a mast in like, sijui how many towns? Boss, it is extremely expensive. So we now have to say, okay, we're going DAB, we're going online, we're doing all of these things. But you see, you guys as the media can train the people to be able to come to you because you're giving them something and receive you in a digital way. It's like you have a whole audience. People listen to you because, and they know where to find you. Unaelewa? So all of that said, and it's a business that's also been run with a lot of, a lot of people making money out of it. So the greed,
Ikakua.
Unaelewa? There's also a lot of faking of numbers.
Najuaga hiyo.
Faking of numbers at nini. We've got this million of people listening, watching on a Friday. Na nikiangalia baa zote zimejaa. How?
Unashindwa kunaendaje?
Unaget? So there's a lot of things at play. But my problem is we've had some brilliant people who've been at the top, and we've had people who are clueless. And also we have some boards that are too old.
To notice things zimebadilika.
You understand? Yeah. Like, let's change up things. When's the last time you bought a newspaper?
I always talk about that. Alafu nakumkaga kitu fulani nilisikia nani alisema. I've never forgotten this. Kuna sikiza Batok. Ilikuwa Jemo ule mse na Cliff. Na alikuwa nasema vile every time you buy a newspaper, it's about yesterday's news. Yesterday's. Kitambo ilikuwa you'd get the newspaper for news. But right now it's literally ni yesterday's news which uko nayo tayari. So kwa nini naibai? Alafu sasa nashindwa ni Nation na Standard zote backbone ni gazeti.
Exactly.
Like,
and I love that you've used that as an example. I'll quote James Smart. We were talking about last year when we were talking about I think it must have been World Freedom Day or something. I had him on the radio. And so media, traditional media plays a vital role because on digital you can report and say nimesikia hivi. Like let's use the example of when the CDF Lord rest his soul when his plane crashed. Everybody was on the internet saying this and that and what, but no one really was confirming it. But some people were swearing to God that this has happened. But you notice that Nation, Media, Standard, what, everybody was waiting. They had to confirm, which is very correct because, when you've been taught ethics and how you have to approach those kind of matters, families and what, you just can't be brash about it. But the media now can play a role of, okay, cool, that's yesterday's role. But now this is why mediums like podcasting are very important. I can now say, me as Mwafrika, the CDF died in a chopper crash. What are the events leading up to it? Ufanye a whole investigative piece. Episode 1. Where was he that week? Si alikuwa pale Ulinzi kuna ile akijog. Unakumbuka hiyo video? Haya. No, he had a meeting with maybe the president, all of those. People can pay a subscription for that.
Yes. Ikikuwa something that's
well
public
produced.
Interest.
Exactly. Unaelewa? So I feel like this whole thing of, so now these people are sitting and saying, higher, let's just do this. But you can have investigative pieces of so much that have happened. Like I've not seen anyone, well, I stand corrected probably, about the Gen Z protests, who's done a proper 10-episode thing. I'd be very interested. Unaelewa? And I even go to a sponsor and I say, by the way, it will cost me 5 million to produce this. Because I'm going to go a massive proper. But I'll have your ad at the front, at the middle, and at the end.
Yeah.
Sponsored by what Katuna Songa.
Okay.
And we make our money. Those are ways where how people can adapt.
Because Nini, I always look at Strika baadaye ushaangalia like our parents alafu kona those days that they used to buy newspapers walikuwa around the age yetu and even younger.
Exactly.
Sasa unashindwa nani ananunua gazeti? Because mukagaibi like saizi my daughter is 9 mtoto wako how old?
She's 11.
11. Ushaimwona kama shika paper hivi?
Never.
Machiki. So unashindwa who suppose sisi tukiwa watu we used to tuko nashikaga paper like it was niko kama juzi nimeona mtu amebonga ilikuwa juu ya Gen X. Sasa mimi na belong kwa Gen X. At Gen X tulikuwa na analog childhood, digital adulthood. Najua sasa we got them both yeah.
Hey, that's a golden era.
Yeah, it's nini. So nataka kushindwa hizi gazeti like will nation still be producing newspapers when my daughter is an adult? Why?
Well, they probably might, but I don't know. I don't see it. It's not a viable business. Like, both our toys are Gen Alpha, right?
Yes.
Like this past weekend, I was with her and her friends, and all of them had phones, right? And I remember at some point, wamezieka, wanafanya uto to dance routines twao.
Yeah.
Alafu, wakachoka. Moja, so my daughter's phone, madhake manzeni noma. Ameseti up fulani, imeblock kila kitu, alafu phone yake ikaribika. So now she doesn't have access to none of the apps.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for 2 months. Manze hata nimetry ku factory reset. I think nitaipeleka tu iflashi or something. Because now she doesn't have anything. But her two pals were, they're on TikTok, and their parents have also like set this apps. So unajua hiyo app?
Yeah, najua.
Una set limitation. So, but now my toy, she can now go on YouTube Shorts. But in my head, I'm like, YouTube unajua pia iko na vitu mob sana.
Yeah.
You can end up somewhere. But you can see this is how they're consuming and how expressive they are. Like manze, my terminology, manze ananiambiaga, that's not woke.
Yeah.
Wanna drop your goma jina kaizo?
Yeah, autoaga hizo. But me, the funniest one was ilikuwa nini? Kuna majuzi nimeambia dota yangu sijafanya nini. Afaka niambia breaking news on Citizen. My dad wants me to. So nikajua like that's another thing that I have to respect Citizen for. They've been able to, at least as the world changes, hao ni kama wameadapt kiasi after the fact hakuwa their newspaper fell. That helped them. Kuso likuwa kana newspaper.
Kukumbuka. Sikalikuwa naitwa Citizen pia?
Naitwa Citizen called. Kuna hii Citizen Weekly. I don't know what their newspaper was called. But I remember that one nini. So hao wameza, because it's sad kuona like Nation and Standard, because even for what they represent, because also they played a very big role in the second liberation.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to see them hapo, alafu kushindwa, because pia saizi nimeona wanaanza kudu podcast and everything, and I'm like, is it too late? Because also another thing they should have noticed is Larry Madowo was like one of those first people kuonyesha the power of the internet, because the trend ili move from James Smart to Larry.
Yeah. Actually, the idea of the trend was G Money and James Smart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then Larry took it and ran with it. Yeah.
Alafu the Larry we know today,
CNN, man.
Yes.
Global.
And because of internet.
Exactly.
So the fact they didn't see e-power ya digital, it's just one of those things where I'd put it to you like this. When you go in and investigate some of these boards in these organizations, what's been the change? Do you even think you'd be invited to that board to talk to them and say them this and all of that? Yeah. Afu juka umewak and there's a time tulikuwa hapa na Shiro Morioki and we were talking about our experience on mainstream radio and it was not funny. Like we had some really clueless bosses. Kuna katini nao hivi. Unashindwa mtu anabonga juu ya nini. So wewe umekuwa na hiyo experience ile, of course atataja but
no me by the let me tell you, me altaja 100% if I have been very lucky to have had some very good guys. Of course, so me so G Money, we did breakfast for 8 years together, 8.5 or something. But at the top of it, there's DJ John and Mike Rabah.
Yes.
those are two of the best guys. Like me, I keep saying, if, like, say, DJ John or Mike Rabar was a CEO of one of these, like, legacy media brands,
they'd still make it.
Fam, Homeboy Ziki launch 2007, is it?
Yeah.
Or 2006?
07 or 8, I think.
Unaelewa? Digital radio, not digital radio, online streaming.
Yeah.
Kulikuwa na tenje gani zingine ulikuwa unaweza it only had one frequency. At that point ilikuwa Nairobi na ilikuwa 91.5. Kauko alafu unajua manze FOMO. Hiyo time ndio tu idios na nini tuna buy data expe. Like unasikia manze kuna hii station iko different.
Yes.
Unaelewa? And John had spent time at BBC, one extra and seen it. So you have people over here who don't even travel to understand how and it's adapting. Symposiums for all of these different kind of things. You have to.
Yes. Because kitu wagafani ni everything you see in the first world eventually inakuja hapa kwetu. So it's just be prepared. Like kuwa tayari, anza kujipanga mapema ndio whatever happens you are ready. So it's
like and you know it's like for you and I, like I'll use examples. Where Josie ulikuwa Stato.
Yeah.
How many places did you interact with? How many stores? Unakumbuka nikikwambia yo I need this. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
How many stores do you go to and check it? This is the latest equipment. Like this mics we're using, you know. Bro, it's that whole lack of I don't know. It's just a lackluster mentality, but also I'll blame it on also just as a people, people don't really want to challenge. It's like that. You know, Kenyans are very, how would I put it? Hautaki kuonekana nika una change the status quo. Kwanza ma millennials. Na Gen X, hiyo ndio ilikuwa shida kubwa. Unajua Gen Z hauwezi washo.
Yeah, wana change vitu. I think they wako pia na access to information. So unajua there is more than one way to skin the cat.
Exactly.
Unajua guys.
Sisi tulikuwa tunajua ni hivi. Alafu pia ulikuwa unaambia the fear of you being fired. Alafu unajua ungerudi uambie mokoro ati hauna job.
Kulikuwa na hiyo media. Alafu nini still tukistick now say there is a time nakumbuka nasema juu ya like even a show like The Trend for example right now eventually when you watch the short clips zinakuwaga even sometimes it's less than 720p ama it's barely 720p and I always think about it, I'm like the people who are going to like digest these clips ni yao Gen Zs and quality matters. Like give me so niko zile za sawa mko na hizi cameras mzee zile mna transmit nazo live. Why not have even if it's a few smartphones and you grabbing the same thing in 4K then baadaye mtu aiedit haraka when it's time for the clips
upload the damn thing.
Yes, upload now the 4K bado unapata ni ile tu it's not clear, it's not alafu nashinda like is it really that hard?
You know, for me, here's the thing. I would love to sit down and whine about it and everything, but, you know, you should be the next person who's running Iko Nini media, unaelewa? And you now expand it and whatever, because you can't teach an old dog's
new tricks.
Old dog new tricks, unaelewa? Because trust me, I bet you there have been enough people who sit in these offices and tell these guys this and that and what. And also, and I think now, actually, to get to one of the main points. So there's a lot of these ideas that are put towards these people in these leadership teams and in these boardrooms. But now the problem is this. Telling them, invest in this so that we can get this. The problem is usually, so tukiekelei chapa, inarudi by when? So you can't get into it. Like me, I tell guys, when we started podcasting, tulikuwa tunafanya audio only, right? Then after that, we decided, let's go video. Video, we started shooting on the phone. Manze na tulikuwa tunasumia sijui iPhone gani. Nakumbuka chali floli moja, G keeps telling me, he saw that comment. Chali flani alisema sijui kama mna shoot na 720 ama 1080. Kasema come on, you need to up your quality. Unaelewa? Na unajua venye umesema tu, people want what they want. Ndio hapo tukaenda tukabuy camera. Unaget pole tu, like that. But it was one of those risks that we took and we kept doing it. Our first check probably came at episode 100.
Inakuwaga hivyo. Because me, like, one of the most beautiful rises nishaiona is the rise of Ngugi. So Lynn akunga time akianza when she was joining Tuko, I think it was around the 2017 elections. So I remember akiwa on kusiwaga mabeste Facebook. So to me, like a bunch of people, I don't know if it was inboxes ama alikuwa anaandika kwa wall yako. Like, oh, please, just need to Tuko, whatever. From that to the media mogul we see today.
Yeah, I know.
Because like she's the closest to a Kenyan opera that you'll ever get.
Yep. She's doing good.
But now, ye mwenyewe hata ukiangalia even like her sort of in quotes journalism, hainge work kwa hizi mainstream media. So I don't know if they see that, like the way, yes, it's been a very gradual process, but right now she's one of the few people waliokipigiwa na mainstream media like, we want to give you a full-time job. She's going to say no because they can't afford her.
Exactly.
You'd have to pay her more than the CEO. So how does that work?
It's those things. So all of those egos, who are you, what are you? It's like now when we go to like radio right now, like for you on your radio show, you're able to like, you can even decipher, like next week I know you and OCTOPIZZO, you can decipher a whole album. And I think for me at Trace and even at Homeboys, we were able to do that, right? Like I'll have Octo come in and pop, ngoma tumestopisha ngoma ya system from song number 1 to song number last tukiongea about ingoma. Like I'll never forget about when Calligraph and I were speaking about a particular song, and Calligraph is talking about his dad's battle with diabetes. And at that particular point, hawana chapa, wamechujwa kwa keja, so him and his dad have to even Unelewa? So those kind of stories, right? And you're in a traditional outfit that are telling you, hey, links are raka katuna songa. So this guy who's worked on a 16 what do you call it, track project can't even unpack it. Unelewa?
Because I feel like hiyo nini sijuka ina change, but naona ni kama saizi hiyo model ya kitambo hizi work. It's like people want you to talk more because they can get their own music. Ama wana feel like
so it's two things, right? People can get their own music, but now you need to be knowledgeable enough about that. And also you need to be able to curate. Do you know these guys on Spotify who are being paid money by labels? Tuseme Moaf akona playlist yake on Spotify.
Okay.
Na ukona monthly listeners like 2 million because of your playlist. So you're a hot curator. Labels will contact you and tell you, yo, manze tukona musician ana drop album, ebu tusotie top singles zetu hapo, wanakupatia here's $2,000. Hiyo ni bees bana. Unaget? So like curation. So if you can articulate and you can curate, ama unaambia wase the history of this song, because you know, like last night, man, I have very weird sleeping habits. Manze nilikuwa nalala saa 7. And I remember one of my last tweets was, there's a song by Kanye West and Jay-Z that's called Amazing. It's from like 2008. And I was listening to Logic Ame sample. And I had it at the start and I had this song. But you see, there's people who listen to that Logic song, but they don't know about that. But you know, you need to be able to tell people, like, but then again, maybe I think I'm just thinking too much. You and I are music guys like that. I think a conversation like that will, as purists, tuta appreciate. Mimi, wewe, Zach, wase wa hiyo, unaelewa? Lakini kuna wase wengine, they're like, who cares?
But I'd still be
but there's always going to be an audience.
Niko sure watu wa TikTok vile lisikia bidii yangu naomba. I think kuna hiyo nini, because kuna hiyo role pia ya like urban tone.